with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
It's Tuesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means. The boys are bringing you a little bit of talk radio, a little bit of reaction to today's news. Van, how are you, brother?
Decent AF, my friend. Far away. So far.
What's that, brother?
Away. Bleep, blap, bleep, blap, bleep, blap, bloop. Freddie Fame is in northern New Mexico, putting in some work
Hanging out today.
Great program today for you. Got some it's Jackie Robinson Day up at the Isotope, so we got a double dipper for you of interviews. Got John Traub with us at 4:45, and as usual when the Topes are playing, we got the Sush, Josh Sushan at 5:45, hitting you with a lot of sports and sports adjacent content today. I'm going to tell you why you got a free Draymond. Draymond did nothing wrong. You beg and you beg for dudes like this, and you get one and you automatically hate them. Draymond did nothing wrong, and we're going to go into that at length later. Snoop is proud of the NBA. Surprise, surprise. For what reason? Weed. Yeah, Snoop is happy that NBA players can smoke weed. So congratulations to Snoop and NBA players. And probably the best news of the day. And I got a take on this that I'll get to later. But DeMar Hamlin has been cleared to resume football activities. Dead for 8 minutes, 3 months later, cleared to resume football activities. What a crazy story. The Athletic did a little anonymous poll with 108 NBA players, and we're going to give you the results of that. Who's the GOAT? Who's overrated? Who's underrated? We're going to give you all of that. 108 NBA players. That's a pretty good sample size to get some good data on what's going on in the hearts and minds. NBA.
Fred's coming back.
NBA are considering some rule changes for next year. We'll go into the rule changes for next year.
Van, can you hear me now? Van, do you got me?
I got you.
Doesn't sound brother.
Not ideal, but here we are. We're back. What's up, my friend? How's beautiful and historic Las Vegas, New Mexico?
Feeling good. How's am I the right level? Do I sound good to you, my man?
I sound much better now. Thank you for your work, super producer
good.
Tyler Lovely.
Yeah, no problem. We got this whole thing done. So yeah, you're obviously talking about the big Jackie Robinson game. Super excited about that. Cannot wait. The thing that's, because it's such a news cycle day, the Draymond Green story, kind of everything that's going on in Major League Baseball, every single team is playing today, which is kind of crazy. But the thing to me about Jackie Robinson Day is you almost always want to lead with that. You only get like the one day a year to really jump up and say, hey, it's Jackie Robinson Day.
Sure.
So to me, how very
mentioned,
incredible of a day it's going to be over at Isotopes Park. And you were talking about it. There's hundreds and hundreds of students that are able to attend today's game because the Isotopes were so willing to, to afford tickets to those that were willing to be a part of their media narrative and tell their stories of Jackie Robinson. So this is one of my favorite radio days. That's all.
Yeah, and what a program by the Isotopes. They do so many great things in the community, and this is just another great example. If you had a school-age child who submitted any kind of art involving Jackie Robinson, by the way, the game is today. It's too late. Deadline was last week. Sorry. We told you all about it.
It was Monday. It was they extended it up until yesterday.
Yeah, we told you all about it. It's too late. You should have got your kiddos up there already. But if your kiddo submitted any kind of art, poetry, a report, a painting, anything, you got 4 free ticks to the game tonight. So there's going to be, I didn't hear what the final numbers were, but as of Friday, they were over 100 kids. That means that's over 400 tickets given away to the Albuquerque community to honor Jackie Robinson. It's going to be an amazing night, and come hang out with the boys. there because I'm going to be there for sure. I can't miss it.
That other big story in the news is, well, it's kind of a big stomp, right? So last night, obviously, there's NBA basketball. It's playoff basketball. It is about as good of a little playoff basketball night as you can find. Is there's basically playoff basketball. Did you tell me, Van, there's like a basketball game every day until like the end of May or something? It's like something ridiculous like that. So, anyways, last night, Arvydas Sabonis' kid goes down, and Draymond Green, he decides to drop his heel down on old boy's chest. Did you get a chance to see this video yet?
Oh, I watched it over and over and over again at many angles, and I'm going to tell you, Draymond Green acted a fool, but it's not solely his fault. He is a bad guy. He is not the bad guy. Domantas Sabonis tried to yank his ankle, tried to twist his foot, and he got his foot twisted literally last night too. So Draymond has PTSD for last night. Look, I'm not excusing Draymond's actions for stomping on somebody's chest, but I'm saying, hey, put this into perspective. This is the NBA playoffs. You know the refs swallow their whistles. You know the guys play harder. You know the dudes throw elbows. You know everyone gets fouled more than they would be in a normal regular season game. And you saw it the last two nights, the way these guys have been fouling each other. And then Draymond Green gets his friggin' foot twisted by Domantas Sabonis, and his retaliation as he's falling forward is stepping on his chest and weirdly catapulting off of him. Fred, I want to hear your perspective, but I got a hot take after you go.
I don't think we're on the same page with this one, my man. I think Draymond Green, who, by the way, kind of has the history of this, if you were to be like, hey, Fred, can you throw together a compilation of videos of Draymond like assaulting people for no reason, this would be in it, and there'd be a lot of it. And as I watched the video, Arvydas Sabonis goes, not Arvydas, that's the dad. What's the kid's name?
Domantas.
Yeah, so Domantas Sabonis goes down. Whenever he goes down, to me, even if he had wrapped the ankle or if he had grabbed the leg, you don't escape a grab by kicking down. You escape a grab by pulling away. And I'm a little bit lost on this one because as old boy's laying down and he brings that down on his chest, he brings that, he brings that down on him. To me, that's you're trying to cause pain. That's not that you're trying to prevent injury. And even if he's going to justify, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw, he went for an X-ray after the game last night. He was concerned about his ankle. I'm not buying any of that either. To me, it's too much of a work and too much of a fallacy, and then it's produced on the other end. So not only did you get the opportunity, I'm not saying it's premeditated. I'm saying once he had the opportunity to do it, then he knew immediately how to cover it up, and that makes me think he's just a bad dude.
Well, yeah, he's always been the bad guy. And the NBA needs this. Every sport needs this. Look, NBA fan, sports fan in general, you can't have it both ways. I am absolutely sick of hearing it. Look, NBA wasn't what it was when Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Charles Barkley were playing. It's a different game.
Right.
These guys are so soft. And then Draymond acts like Charles Oakley, and you like, oh, he's a thug. I can't stand watching basketball anymore. It's ruining the game. This is a hypocritical, a double-edged sword that is going to stab you if you keep swinging that sword around. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can't long for the good old days, and then when somebody steps up and shows you what the good old days look like, you get totally aghast. Oh, I'm going to stand on the street corner and hold up my anti-Draymond sign. This is stupid. Everybody likes a bad guy. Let Draymond be the bad guy. It's more fun. It's more interesting. It's more entertaining. Every team needs a guy like Draymond. When you have a guy on your team, if you have Patrick Beverley, everybody who has Patrick Beverley loves Patrick Beverley. Everyone who has Draymond Green loves Draymond Green. Same thing with Domantas Sabonis. He's given all kinds of hard fouls the last two games. He tried to twist Draymond's ankle. Where's the outrage for what he did? It wasn't as aggressive. It wasn't as stupid and outlandish. But give me a friggin' break. You can't have it both ways. You can't ask for a bad guy and then be all pissed off when you actually see a bad guy. Grow up.
The problem I have with the bad guy mentality is you have to be the bad guy within like the constraints of the game, the rules of the game, right? Like I
No.
don't care for this the same way that I don't care for like Albert Hainsworth. A really good bad guy to me is a bad guy who does it within the rules of play. This is like if we're talking NFL football, this is the guy that goes to the whistle on the pile up. This is like I don't need this stuff. And if you are going to do it, if you are going to stomp on a dude's chest, you say, "Yeah, I stomped on his chest. He was trying to mess me up." You don't say, "Oh, I'm just protecting myself and I have a narrative against it." Like I'm saying, if you're gonna talk a talk, literally walk the walk on your bad ankle. Don't say that you're some sort of victim here and you're coming out ahead. Say that you had intent to get at anyone who's trying to get at you. And that's not what Draymond Green is doing. Draymond Green is hiding behind some fallacy that Draymond Green is above I don't know what the best above discipline, above the constraints of the rules. Draymond Green is a liar.
Well, and his defense, Draymond Green did both. He said he was trying to twist my ankle. I was trying to get out of it, and I went after him for trying to hurt me. He said both things. He made stupid excuses and he owned up to it. So he did both. And it's just like, you can't just pick which one you want. It's always both. It's always in the gray area. I mean, and Domantas Sabonis, like at least he had the balls to say, this is what playoff basketball is all about. These are two guys competing. These are two guys playing with passion. Like they were going at each other. And I appreciate that. I mean,
I don't know if I recall him saying I think he said something along the lines of like, "Hey, I'm trying, but I did it too hard." Like he didn't say I was doing it on purpose, and that's where I think my difference is. Because even with Sabonis, who, by the way, in my opinion, watching it in real time, watching it in replay, I don't think he's trying to grab the dude. I think he's trying to get from being stomped on because Draymond Green will stomp on him. Oh, by the way, Draymond Green stomped on him. To me, I think it is Green was like, "Oh, I got to say all the right things so that I'm not in trouble because everyone knows I'm a bad dude." I don't think I currently recognize Sabonis as a bad dude. Also, with Draymond, if he's as smart as he's making himself out to be, he'd have took a flop, or he'd have jumped back, or he'd have fallen down, or drawn something to get possession of the ball. That's where I think I get a little bit lost, where it's not heads uppy, it's not the right play, it's being dirty and kind of being a gross dude. Also, he's going to try to fight every fan in the building. There's just too much energy against this dude for me to be like, "Oh, I'm super pro Draymond physically hurting others."
Well, bad news, buddy, because I am. I love every second of it. What are we leading the show with here? We're not leading the show with, oh my God, will the Knicks be able to take a 2-0 lead on the Cavaliers? We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the 76ers comeback last night. We're talking about Draymond Green going all Draymond Green on MFers. That's what we're talking about here. This is the story. I want something like this every game throughout the playoffs. This will make it more interesting. This will make it more engaging. Do I want people to get hurt? No. But if you're going to try to twist his ankle, step on his chest and keep compounding. Give hard fouls. Because nostalgic NBA fan, I know I already said it. I'll say it again. You can't have it both ways. Grow up.
Well, yeah, I think hard fouls is one conversation, but that's not what this is. This is ludicrous.
I want that also.
Like for him to claim that, hey, he's hard fouling me, hooked around my ankle, dog, I saw it. He's not. Like you're a liar. Like, and that I think that's the talking point here. It's not heads up basketball. It's not tough Bill Laimbeer 1980s basketball. It is I'm kicking a guy when he's on the ground. And if you and I are in a public setting and someone's kicking a dude while he's on the ground, we're not letting that fly either. So I think I'm a little bit lost on it. You can be heads up, you can be tough, you can play within the confines of the rules, or you can kick a dude when he's trying to protect his head on the ground. And that's what I think Draymond Green is.
I didn't see him protecting his head. I saw him grabbing his ankle and holding on to it. If you're protecting your head and you got somebody's foot in it, guess what? You're not protecting your head. You don't pull somebody's foot into your head if you're trying to protect your head. That was deliberate.
He didn't kick him in the head.
Only thing that Sabonis did was make it look less aggressive as Draymond. Because, yes, Sabonis was trying to grab his leg and hold it there. He was just way better at it. You can't have Mr. Bean try to play the Godfather, Michael Corleone. It's going to be different results. DeMontis was just a better actor in that moment. And Draymond doesn't care about making it look good. He's just going to be a thug in the moment. And I love it.
I don't know, man. I'm watching it in real time with you. And although I think as I was rethinking it, I thought the arms were maybe closer to the head. They're definitely not around the ankle or protecting the midsection.
Are the arms around his leg? Is his arms around his leg?
No, I don't feel that way.
Do his arms stop his progress? The answer to both of those is yes.
If you're talking about progress of the leg, then I would say I don't feel that way. I would say I think after he got caught up underneath 23, that when Draymond came down with him, if he was trying to get away, he goes the other direction. This kind of kick is like trying to jumpstart like a motorcycle. This is like a dirt bike move. This is not like a hey, get off me move. I think I'm lost on it. I don't think this one's clean in my book.
Oh my God, of course it's not clean. Who said it was clean? I know I didn't say it was clean. I said I love every second of it. I want more Draymond. I hope they don't suspend it, and I hope he does it again. I hope there's one dude from every game that acts out like this. It's more interesting.
I think that's the next step, right? You just said it. Like I do think he catches the suspension.
I think he catches the suspension for what he did in the crowd, not even for stepping on the dude. I watched it a bunch, man. It looked like he grabbed his ankle. He made a way better case about trying to protect his face, but he's a better actor. Draymond's a horrible actor. He didn't make it look good. Agitating the crowd, I think, is way worse than what he did on the court.
Well, and then he went on to blame the crowd after the game, which is super weird. There might be a little chip too. I know we got to go to break, Tyler. I'm sorry. There might be a little chip too on the Northern California shoulder of Golden State showing up in Sacramento, where it's traditionally been extra home games for them all year. And all of a sudden they're looking at fans cheering against them for the first time ever. And they're like, what do we do with this energy? Like, we don't know what this is like. This is crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a factor as well.
And the Warriors have been awful on the road all year, and they've been lights out at home. So I see the Warriors coming back whether they got Draymond or not.
Well, and you just made a really good point there, because we didn't at all throughout this entire thing mention that the Warriors are down 0-2 to open this series, which is, I think, against every person who enjoys NBA basketball's prediction.
Steph Curry's and Steve Kerr's first time in their career being down 0-2. They've never been down 0-2 before.
Let's step away whenever we come back. The best news in the history of the NFL came out today, and we will share that with you. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
10% off MSRP on a new 2022 Ram 1500. You heard that right. Get 10% off MSRP on a new Ram 1500 at Malloy Ram in Los Lunas during Ram Truck Month. MalloyCJDR.com. See dealer for LD tabs.
Traffic right now, we are starting to see slowdowns northbound on I-25. You're going to run into those as you approach Gibson. They'll last until Central. Southbound on I-25 will send it to Montgomery. Things moving slow there and dealing with congestion.
Can you hear me now?
You're invited to the Great Futures Gala Saturday, April 20th.
How about that? You got me now?
Girls Clubs of Central New Mexico. They enable all young people to reach their full potential. Club alumni can attend free. RSVP at bgccnm.org. This report sponsored by JPR Incorporated, proud supporter of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central New Mexico. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Telling it like it is.
It doesn't feel like it's a long-term fix. It feels a little desperate. It feels like basically you gave Lamar a cool pre-Christmas present to get him back to the negotiating table. But the Ravens are in a tough spot. It's quarterback league and they don't have one. You probably need to work on the marriage. And I think that's Baltimore's issue.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 1 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Tide Power Pods have 8.
Check. Anything?
Needs that much more Tide.
Well, when giving.
Check.
getting a mud shower. Yikes. You're gonna.
Check, nothing.
When your wine tasting becomes a wine spilling. Yeah, you're gonna need more Tide. Or if your favorite shirt is your kid's favorite napkin. Great, I'm gonna need more Tide. My mom gave me that shirt.
It's a mess out there. Tide Power Pods have 85% more Tide versus Tide Pods.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I know that look in your eyes. It's the look of somebody with a craving for bourbon. But not just any bourbon. It's got to be high quality, high-end stuff, right? I've got a new place for you to check out. Bourbon House. It's up in the Northeast Heights. It's Albuquerque's newest bourbon and craft cocktail bar. These guys have over 100 different high-end and hard-to-find bourbons. Walk in, order your favorites, discover some new ones. It's like Christmas morning for bourbon lovers. Their master mixologist creates awesome craft cocktails, too, with plenty of wine and local beer on tap, plus a chef-curated menu and brunch that'll make you wish it was Sunday every day. Bourbon House. It's at the southeast corner of Eubank and Montgomery. You can chill out after work, grab a drink, play a game of pool, have dinner with the family, enjoy live entertainment. It's going to be your new choice for happy hour. And Bourbon House is Friday's sweet deal. Visit our station website Friday morning at 9 a.m. Grab a $50 gift certificate for just $25. Bourbon House. Exciting entertainment, amazing food, and specialty bourbons. What more do you need? Well, maybe a little more bourbon. Cheers.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Blake's Lottaburger has been a New Mexico favorite since 1952. They use the best ingredients like their very own Hatch green chili and fresh premium beef patties. And they cook your food fresh when you order it. Blake's Lottaburger, the first there was, the best there is.
The king of sports talk.
I have not given myself enough credit lately.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Come on, yeah. Come on, yeah. Come on. You better get me.
Welcome back to the program. Okay, boys. Best story in the history of football. You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
Damar Hamlin saw his last specialist on Friday. He's preparing to play this season. All specialists are in agreement that he is cleared to resume full activities. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, God, no. I love this.
Problem?
I love this story. I love that he looked death in the face, rose like the phoenix. Is a great story for the NFL. But please don't do this again. Please don't do this again.
What are you worried about?
Gosh.
What is your concern with Damar Hamlin's return?
Okay, so they found out what it was, right?
Okay, what was it?
Commotio cordis. Okay.
Never heard of it. Tell me more.
Okay, it's the leading cause of death in youth athletes across all sports. So it's happened to him once. It happens to kids all across the country. It happens to adults, not even just playing sports. There's a really good chance it's going to happen to him. Again, all the experts say he's cleared to go. I'm not a doctor, but I am a guy who saw a dude die on Monday Night Football. He was dead for 8 minutes, had to get resuscitated, was comatose for days, came out of it, could walk, could be now back to normal, now cleared for football activities 3 months later. Miss me with this. No thank you.
You know what? You're talking about an interesting feeling, too, because you're talking about every moment that this dude makes a tackle, how CBS or Fox or the NFL Network or whoever's going to have a camera on him.
Yes.
You're talking about every moment that this dude physically comes into contact with someone else, how there's going to be like a audible inhale or exhale in whatever building he is in, because people won't know the outcome for a second. And I'm going to give you like a weird analogy. You know how I kind of turn the whole world into pro wrestling all the time? Daniel Bryan, who broke his neck, Daniel Bryan, whenever he came back to pro wrestling, this exact feeling existed inside of me, to where every time you would watch him like take a bump or do a fall or something, and in pro wrestling you have to pretend like you're hurt anyways, but you would have this moment where you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm enjoying this. I think I'm a little too stressed out. Like, and I'm getting worked. Like, I'm a fan. Like, this is real life we're talking about.
Sure. And I mean, it's from your heart getting thumped right in the middle of the beat when a certain a certain wave is going through your body. It just shuts off your electric, which shuts off your heart, and then boom, you're done. That's the Cliff Notes. That's the layman. That's the I'm not a doctor version of this. He's going to get hit over and over and over and over again. Every single hit is going to increase his chances of this happening again. I don't like it at all.
What I do like, though, is me and you putting together like a couple $100, going down to whatever sports book and betting right now on the comeback player of the year.
If he plays 17 games, he's the comeback player of the year in a landslide, unanimous.
Literally died on the field.
Yeah.
Like this is hands down not just the greatest story ever told, the greatest conclusion to the greatest story ever told.
Yeah, but I don't want to watch it. I don't want to be here for it when it happens again. You got me once. Please be a cautionary tale for children. Be a better example for kids in this game, how to stay safe. I mean, he's just for what? Why come back? You died on the field. Why come back? You got the money. You got the fame. You got a platform. You've had your success. You made it to the peak. You're an NFL player. Why do this again?
Well, I think I can say this part because experts telling yes. And I think that's where you and I, who both recognize ourselves as not experts, that's where we say, well, these people at these hospitals, these people at the University of Cincinnati, these people now in Buffalo, all these individuals and specialists that surround them that say, hey, this freak accident thing that happened, it's not going to happen again. You should be good to do what? Provide for yourself, provide for your family, follow that life. I do recognize there are other avenues he can go. That's not super the conversation right now. But these lows that you're talking about, Van, of this, like, I'm like messed up in my chest and I feel weird in my stomach about this. You're going to have the exact opposite. I didn't look up, so I don't know. But if Buffalo's first game of the year is a home game, which I assume it is, I don't know that. Whenever their public address guy, their whoever, comes out and he says, and now, Buffalo Bills Mafia returning to the field for the first time in however many days. Number 3, Damar Hamlin. The place will lose it. I got goosebumps even thinking about the energy that's going to surround this thing. And that, to me, if he wants that moment, give him that moment. Allow him to follow that life. Like, I'm in, even though I'm going to be as uncomfortable as you on the edge of whatever seat I'm sitting in.
You know, I understand the odds of this thing happening again. Like, when I heard about it today, I was like, there's no way. Is this a fake article? Is somebody baiting me on the internet to put some kind of asinine comment to get myself in trouble? And I looked into it and looked into it and looked into it. I was like, oh my God, this is very real. And what happened to him, they were able to diagnose it and track exactly what it was. And it's extremely rare. It's very unlikely not to happen again. But if it does happen again, guess who it's going to happen to? Him. And then I'm going to have this conversation. I'm going to do told you so. And look, I agree. It's a great story. Him dying on the field for 8 minutes to be resuscitated, to rehab, to be cleared for football activities 3 months later. It's a great story, but it's not one that I want to give credence to because I don't want young kids out there risking their life and health and safety for this kind of glory. I mean, there's a insanely small population of people who make it to the NFL. Like, putting your body at risk over and over again, long-term damage to your mental health, your physical health. Like, how many times on this program do we talk about the horrible pitfalls about playing professional athletics too long, especially football, especially your favorite WWE? It doesn't turn out well that often. And I don't want this amazing story to be another cautionary tale. This could be an amazing lesson, and it could change the future of NFL football. Instead, everything's getting swept under the rug, and then we're going to welcome him back in open arms. And of course, Buffalo's going to cheer and go crazy. It's a great story. He was dead, and then now he's back. He is risen. It was just friggin' Easter. Give me all the JC you got. I understand why it's a good story, but I don't want people to emulate this just because, hey, Damar Hamlin died. He came back and played football. I only had 4 concussions. I could come back and play football. Like I only have a few headaches when I'm underneath fluorescent lights. I can play football. Like, this is all garbage. Like, I don't want this momentum to carry into people's thought processes about what you do to your body at this level.
That years ago when we were talking about Cole Beasley. When we were talking about Cole Beasley years ago, I said the same thing because Cole Beasley, also Buffalo Bill, he said, hey, I don't need a COVID vaccine. Hey, I got this. I beat all the odds. I came out of football in high school. I went to D1 college. I came out of D1 college. I got in the NFL. I got in the NFL. I made millions of dollars. This is the exact same mindset. These dudes at this level have literally, like, this is not even like figuratively or an example. They have literally beat the odds on every single thing. And for Damar Hamlin to be like, I beat the odds on death. That makes sense to me. I always beat the odds. I'm in favor of that energy if you have other individuals with a knowledge in the industry telling you you're correct. Cole Beasley can forget himself because doctors told him he was an idiot. Damar Hamlin, I am pro because doctors are saying you're good to go. I'm in on all of this.
All right. I would like to see whose doctors, what history they have of diagnosing people, because just layman's, not a medical degree, like saying like, oh, this is the thing you used to do and it almost killed you. You'd be better off not doing the thing. That'll be $200. Thank you.
All I have is this article that says his specialist.
Sure.
So I can't really run that through but if that exists, if a person that has been educated by degree in this field is in, I'm in. Hey, now I'm not talking about weird, like Santa Fe medicine endorsing weirdo. No, but I'm talking like, yeah, give me an East Coast doctor that knows about hearts. Whenever we get back, man, 17 Major League Baseball games today. What? 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need to travel, from passport photos to luggage. And now get 20% off your in-store purchase when you buy any travel service. Plus, travel-size Purell hand sanitizer is just 49 cents. In-store only. Offer ends 4/22. Exclusions apply. Get all set to jet at Staples.
Taking a look at traffic right now, westbound on I-40, seeing slowdowns between the interchange and Coors. Congestion southbound I-25, Osuna to Comanche. Northbound on I-25, Gibson to Central, things moving slow there. And also seeing slowdowns westbound on Paseo. Those are going to start at 2nd Street. They'll last until the river.
This message is brought to you by the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish. TJ Trout here, and are you up for the New Mexico Trout Challenge? Every angler that competes the challenge gets a Trout Challenge coin, bragging rights, and their name in the New Mexico Trout Challenge Hall of Fame. For more information, go to the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish website.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Last year, you gave us books, and we gave you beer. You remember, Tom Brady was still a buck. The Sports Animal is doing it again with JPR Decorative Gravel and Blake's Lottaburger for the Rock and Brew Book Drive. Bring new or gently used children's books to participating breweries, and you'll receive $1 off each beer you buy that day. Breweries like Hemmett's Mountain Brew House, Tractor Brewing, Juneau Pub, and more. Save $1 off a beer while fighting illiteracy in New Mexico. Get a full list of drop-off locations online now at sportsanimалabq.com.
If you're
Like, you can't hear me right now through Clean Feet.
a needle in a haystack, you can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate.
You got me? Check. Nope.
ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in
Give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me.
work in the gym.
Thumbs up in the.
Are they sending out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text JUDGE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 321-321. That's JUDGE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
What if you could do business without busy work? With Ramp, you can. Ramp is the future of finance with smart automation, corporate cards, and spend management. Just imagine, no more expense reports or shuffling wrinkled receipts. No more slogging through invoices or getting surprised by unexpected charges. Just your business's big idea with smart spend controls, automation that crushes busy work, and real-time insights so you can make it happen. In other words, Ramp completely reimagined finance to make it work for your business. Get set up, issue corporate cards, and start making payments in less than 15 minutes. See how Ramp does finance. Join today and get $250 just for signing up. Just go to ramp.com.
Check, you got me? Put a thumbs up in StreamYard if you got me.
.com/sports to get $250 for signing up. That's ramp.com/sports.
Ladies, fall in.
What's up, Coach?
You can't
Wait, you're getting me now?
pants and dresses.
Don't you think we know that? If we had real team uniforms, we wouldn't embarrass you like this.
Point taken. I'll make a call. Time for real team uniforms and professional.
Yeah, I got you.
Traffic Connection has great designs, years of experience, and over 300,000 products.
Yeah, I got you.
Coach, these new uniforms are awesome!
Right? Told you I'd take care of it.
Graphic Connection.
The only part of your morning that doesn't suck. The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Back on the program, just 8 short minutes away from John Traub joining us, the Albuquerque Isotopes, talking about Jackie Robinson night tonight at the ballpark. That's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of baseball, Van, because the Cleveland Commanders and the Detroit Tigers are doubleheadering today, 17 baseball games today, my dude.
2 doubleheaders, my friend. If you would like,
keep going.
if you would like to math, Phillies are also playing a little doubly boy. So you got all 30 teams playing. That'd be 15 games, and then 2 extra doubleheaders, little bonus baseball, 17 games, one day.
Crazy to me. Just absolutely crazy. This kind of stuff used to happen all the time. You know, it used to be like a, hey, you get a day game, night game, doubleheader thing, especially like a little midweek thing when teams had to travel, because travel isn't, you know, as easy and as comfortable it is now or whatever. But there should be like spotlight signature days of the year where you know this is going to happen. If it's like the 4th of July, or if it's like Labor Day, or if it's Memorial Day, or whatever. Like, and if you're like, hey, whatever, in April, May, June, July, we're going to have Baseball Tuesdays. I'm just throwing out terrible names or whatever. But there's like some fun here that Major League Baseball could be doing to have a day with 20, 22 like total games. Like those are, and scheduling wise, it works too, because the team you just played also just played a ton.
Now hear me out.
Yeah.
On his birthday during the season, everyone plays 2. Am I talking about Ernie Banks?
That's a good day.
Now, hold on.
it-
I am not talking about Ernie Banks. I'm talking about Abner Doubleday. So on Abner Doubleday's birthday, everybody in MLB plays 2. And we got to do this at least once a year. I think it's genius.
Ernie Banks, January 31st birthday.
Whoopsie.
And we already do 2 Royal Rumbles that day, so I feel like that's fine. That one tracks for me. That one works. So, yeah, no, it's just kind of a fun Major League Baseball day. It's in full swing. These things are fun. I think you need to take better advantage of it if you're Major League Baseball. So I got some stats for you. Ready? There were 24 games played in 1914 on 3 different occasions.
Okay.
That's crazy to me.
Bonkers.
Because at that time, what are you going to do? You're just going to read an entire page of the newspaper of box scores? Like there's not even a radio broadcast at that time.
No.
Like, so that's it. Yeah, that's the one. So all 30 teams playing, someone playing twice. I'm super in on it. Especially like, let's play 17. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Give me all you got.
Like,
I want more.
Yeah.
Make it a holiday too. Let's all have the day off. Give everyone the day off. Have MLB TV finally for once. Stream all the games at once. Everybody can watch baseball. You realize how amazing it is. You don't have to use your grandma's IP address or get a VPN from Mexico or Canada to actually watch baseball. You can watch baseball, your regional team, without blackouts. Let's do that first.
Hear me out on this one too. You know, at the beginning of a baseball game, like the public address announcer says, "Play ball," right?
Yep.
On a day when there's 17 games, you or I say parlay ball.
Yeah, baby.
Because we could have parlayed 17 games today. If we would have took something from all 17 games, we would have had, number 1, a blast making the bets, number 2, a blast following the bets, and then number 3, a blast reacting to either our successes or failures. Like you and I screwed up not knowing there were 17 games today because we should have been down at that same sports book we're putting our DeMar Hamlin bet on and putting a 17-game parlay boy out there for $1 or whatever.
I'll tell you what, our parlay would already be busted.
Oh.
Because the Guardians and Tigers have already completed their doubleheader.
It's over.
They've already played 2 baseball games today. This is how fast the games are going. At a score of 4-3, Tigers won game 1, and a score of 1-0. The Tigers won game 2. They have already played a doubleheader today. That's how legit the pitch clock is, and that's how busted our parlay would have been because I would not have the Tigers sweeping a doubleheader.
Wait, you're taking W's and L's? Because, I mean, I'll take over-unders. I could take number of strikeouts. Like, there's a list of things. We would have found something in every game. Like, we don't have to just take dubs and L's.
You have a guy I never heard of before making his major league debut and pitching 6 innings. Did you have that one on your parlay?
So I would have took the under on innings pitched from Johnny New Guy.
And we would have lost that one too.
Speaking of Johnny's, John Traub joins us whenever we get back. He's the general manager of your Albuquerque Isotopes. Jackie Robinson tonight at the ballpark. We're going to have a lot of fun bringing that to you. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Taking a look at traffic right now, westbound on I-40, seeing slowdowns between the interchange and Coors. Congestion southbound I-25, Osuna to Comanche. Northbound on I-25, Gibson to Central, things moving slow there. And also seeing slowdowns westbound on Paseo. Those are going to start at 2nd Street. They'll last until the river.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue Plus for local insight and answers about pets or puzzles, sports or shopping, comics or movies, events, dining, music, television, and more. Get all your entertainment and recreational questions answered. Subscribe at abqjournal.com.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with the CBS Sports Minute. The NBA reportedly is or was investigating Russell Westbrook for going West Brick at halftime of Game 1 in their series against the Phoenix Suns. He got into a fan's face in a lounge who reportedly called him, wait for it, West Brick. Russ, I know you don't want my advice, but here it is anyway. Just keep walking. I'm Jim Rome.
Last year, you gave us books, and we gave you beer. You remember, Rogers had a team. The Sports Animal is doing it again with JPR Decorative Gravel and Blake's Lottaburger for the Rock and Brew Book Drive. Bring new or gently used children's books to participating breweries, and you'll receive $1 off each beer you buy that day. Breweries like Sunday Service Motor Company, High and Dry, Differential Brewing, and more. Save $1 off a beer while fighting illiteracy in New Mexico. Get a full list of drop-off locations online now at sportsanimалabq.com.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the one.
How about that?
Done. At Grainger,
You still hear me?
you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I know that look in your eyes. It's the look of somebody with a craving for bourbon. Not just any bourbon. It's got to be high quality, high-end stuff, right? We've got a new place for you to check out. Bourbon House. It's up in the Northeast Heights. It's Albuquerque's newest bourbon and craft cocktail bar. These guys have over 100 different high-end and hard-to-find bourbons. Walk in, order your favorites, discover some new ones. It's like Christmas morning for bourbon lovers. Their master mixologist creates awesome craft cocktails, too, with plenty of wine and local beer on tap, plus a chef-curated menu and brunch that'll make you wish it was Sunday every day. Bourbon House. It's at the southeast corner of Eubank and Montgomery. You can chill out after work, grab a drink, play a game of pool, have dinner with the family, enjoy live entertainment. It's going to be your new choice for happy hour. And Bourbon House is Friday's sweet deal. Visit our station website Friday morning at 9 a.m. Grab a $50 gift certificate for just $25. Bourbon House. Exciting entertainment, amazing food, and specialty bourbons. What more do you need? Well, maybe a little more bourbon. Cheers.
The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. 6:15 tonight, you're going to hear a little pregame show with Voice Isotope's Josh Suchon. 6:35 first pitch on what's going to be an absolutely amazing evening at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park, a.k.a. The Lab. And friends of the show here to tell you all about it. General Manager of your Albuquerque Isotopes, John Traub. What's happening, my friend?
Wow, with an introduction like that, I don't know how to follow it up. First of all, the weather's going to be great. The forecast for this entire homestand is outstanding. We're home for 6 straight games and through Sunday, and we hope to see people out here.
Okay, an astounding week coming up for Isotopes baseball. Friends of the show, Isotopes fans have to get out as much as possible because you got not only a very special night tonight, but a star-studded week as you got promotions just about every day. And the days you don't have promotions, guess what? It's a day game.
Well, you know what? We always have a lot going on here, even if there's nothing specific on the promotional calendar. But Jackie Robinson celebration tonight. We got 50-cent hot dog night tomorrow night. A day game, which everybody loves, starting at 11 a.m. on Thursday. And then back-to-back fireworks shows Friday and Saturday with Little League nights. And then on Sunday, it's our Bark in the Park. So we got a lot going on for anybody. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a baseball fan, not a baseball fan, if you just love coming out to, be around great atmosphere. And if I can correct you on one thing that you said people have to get out to the lab and they have to get out to the ballpark and watch. They don't have to, but we would appreciate it if they do, because people have a lot going on. They've got a lot of discretion, people don't have a lot of discretionary income. So when they decide to spend some of that money on coming to Isotopes games, we are so appreciative. And, it's a long season and the weather's great. So why not start this weekend with coming out and really enjoying some great baseball and some great entertainment.
Well, and if you are getting out to the ballpark, get out early. The Isotopes are leading the PCL in early inning runs. And speaking of back-to-back fireworks, the Isotopes are winning back-to-back series, John. The play on the field is better than the play on the field has been in years.
Well, we've gotten off to a good start for sure. The guys are certainly swinging it. And, we won 2 out of 3 in Round Rock to start the season. We split the series against Salt Lake here, and then we beat El Paso 4 out of 6 down there. And Oklahoma City Dodgers are in town this week, and they're in first place. They're playing very, very good baseball. 8 of their 11 wins have been by 1 run or late inning comebacks. And so, as we know, there can be a lot of high-scoring games in this ballpark, and hopefully we can stay with these guys. The Dodgers have traditionally had some pretty competitive clubs at the AAA level, certainly since they moved to Oklahoma City. And this is going to be a good test for us to see where we're at and to see if we can keep this momentum going.
John, I absolutely love what you guys did honoring Jackie's legacy and making sure that legacy stays alive with the youth of Albuquerque. You gave away handfuls of tickets for creating art or write-ups or poetry, or where did this idea come from and how successful was it this year?
Well, it was tremendous. We had over 100 submissions that came in from kids kindergarten through 12th grade, from schools all around the community. And this was a brainchild of Josh Sushan, as you guys know.
Oh, what a dude.
He is all about this, and we're all historians here. But Josh, really said, hey, let's kick it up a notch this year. We did some cool things last year. Dylan Storm, Michelle Montoya, we have so many people on our staff that are really creative and really passionate behind this. And, we really pushed it on social media. So I want to thank our social media team for doing that. And to end up getting more than 100 submissions, including a teacher wrote us, and she said she encouraged her entire class. This was a class project. So close to 40 kids submitted, pieces of art or poems or stories or drawings or paintings, and they're going to be on display behind home plate tonight on the concourse. And it's really cool. They're very moving and inspiring to see just the great work that people have done.
Well, and you're talking about those displays, John. What else is in store? I know last year you guys had a very good video kind of talking about the history of Jackie Robinson. Actually, I think Josh Sushan voiced it. And I think he mentioned to me that it's going to be something similar, but this year it's also going to feature last year's really emotional moment with Wynton Bernard.
Yeah, so Josh did update the video, and I encourage people to come out and see it tonight. We do have tickets available, and it really shows the impact not only of Jackie on the country, but also, and this video is so well done, the history of Black baseball players in Albuquerque and in New Mexico as a whole. It's a great, deep history that goes back to the late 1800s, and we need to tell these stories. And so, all of our players are going to be wearing number 42 and purple tonight, and in honor of Jackie. And, we partnered with the Jackie Robinson Foundation in New York City. They've got a great museum there. I can't wait to get out there later this summer and check it out myself. But this has been a collaborative approach, and it really shows how great something can become when so many people feel passionate about it and really get behind it.
Not only honoring Jackie Robinson, but also honoring very important people of color in the Albuquerque and surrounding areas. Can you tell us a little bit about Reverend Charles Becknell?
So Dr. Charles and his son, who have been just so important to educating New Mexicans, be it at UNM or wherever the place of education has been for generations now, and talking about civil rights and talking about the importance of people like Jackie Robinson and just hoping and helping to improve our country. And last year we created the Jackie Robinson Making a Difference Award. And last year we honored, what we try to do is honor a local Black-owned business or somebody in the community who has really made a difference. Last year was Mr. Paldrell's Barbecue,
Right.
who is the longest Black-owned business in our city. And the brothers came out, and it was just a great time, and we kind of surprised them with some plaques and some really cool things. And Dr. Charles, so we had a press conference last week, and Dr. Charles came out, and he gave such an emotional and heartfelt speech when he was accepting this award for us. And we told him we want him to replicate that tonight, so we're going to represent this to him in front of the fans just before tonight's game. And the national prominence, the local importance of Dr. Charles and his work at UNM and other places has just been terrific.
Not to date you, my friend, but you've been in professional baseball for a long time. Jackie Robinson Day started officially
I did not see Jackie play.
We're up against the break, but talk a little bit about the growth of Jackie Robinson Day from 2004 to what it is today. Unofficially celebrated by half the ball teams in 2004 and officially in 2005. Talk about that little journey for us, John.
Well, quite frankly, Fred, it's way, way, way overdue to resonate as big as it's become and as it continues to grow. Should have been done generations ago, to be honest with you. But, Major League Baseball, I want to say starting in 1994, I remember they started a Jackie Robinson Day throughout the big leagues, and it has just grown. And now everybody's wearing the number 42, and they've made some changes along the way in terms of now everybody in the big leagues, the 42 is in Dodger blue colors. On the backs of the jersey, so in the Yankees or whomever, it's in the Dodgers color, and I think that's kind of cool. As we get going further in our lives, right? And we've been doing, I've been in this industry for 36 years, and now Jackie Robinson is, it's almost, 75 years or whatever it's been since he broke into the big leagues. We're going to get to a point that younger people don't know the story of Jackie Robinson. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to keep telling this story, because we need to keep it fresh in people's minds to know that, it really wasn't that long ago that Jackie went through all the sacrifices and went through all the stuff that he went through to break the color barrier and to elevate. Baseball was used as a platform to hopefully improve American society. But really, if you think about it, it wasn't that long ago. And we really it's incumbent upon all of us. You guys telling the story on the radio, us trying to keep Jackie's memory alive at the ballpark, and just keeping the story going, because there's new generations that are in school right now who probably didn't know anything about Jackie until a teacher said, hey guys, here's who Jackie was. Let's engage in this community art project with the Isotopes, and so we can be part of the celebration during tonight's game. And I think it's really special that so many people throughout the school system here embraced it and really became part of this. And that's only part of the story.
Jackie Robinson celebration tonight at the Lab, 6:35 first pitch. 50-cent hot dogs tomorrow, school day, matinee Thursday, fireworks Friday and Saturday, and one of my favorite days of the year, Bark at the Park on Sunday. Anything for the friends of the show before we let you go, John?
you guys hit it, and you guys are going to be here Friday, I understand. So you're going to feel the energy and the excitement of our first Little League night of the year. Baseball season is just getting going. The team is playing really well. We've got all kinds of stuff going on here. So you know what? If you've never been to a ball game, if your listeners happen to be tuning in and maybe they're new to Albuquerque or they're not sure what minor league baseball is all about, I encourage them to come out to the ballpark. You will find people in Albuquerque who've never been to a game, but you're going to find very few who've only been once. Because once you experience it, you really enjoy that experience, and with the family and friends and coworkers and whomever. It's just, we try to run a safe, wholesome environment here, and 11 million fans in 20 seasons tells a pretty good story. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for your guys' support, and can't wait to see everybody out here this year.
John Traub, general manager of your Albuquerque Isotopes. Thank you so much, my friend.
You got it, fellas. Have a great day.
When we get back, we'll tell you who's the most overrated player in the NBA. Don't ask us. Ask 108 NBA players. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Quality by DiLorenzo, Lomas, and Pennsylvania. Quality Buick GMC on Lomas just received a special allocation of new Buicks and GMCs for their 66th anniversary sale. Save with 0.9% financing on select GMC Sierras. Quality by DiLorenzo, Lomas and Pennsylvania. QualityDeal.com.
And traffic right now dealing with the crash northbound on 2nd Street. As you approach El Pueblo, we're seeing quite a bit of backups with that, so be careful if you're headed in that area. Elsewhere around town right now, westbound on I-40, slowdowns as you approach the interchange. They're going to last until Coors. Southbound on I-25, Osuna to Comanche, we got some congestion there. Northbound I-25 between Gibson and Central, things moving slow there. And seeing quite a bit of slowdowns westbound on Paseo as you approach Jefferson. Those will last until the river.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples is celebrating Earth Day. On April 23rd and 24th, save 15% on your purchase of $30 when you recycle tech at Staples. Offer valid 4/22 and 4/23 only. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details. Cut the cord with your old tech and recycle it at Staples.
If you see an accident, call the traffic tracker.
Check.
American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Shout out to my folks in Sacramento.
How about that? Are you hearing me now?
You probably cannot believe this is really happening right now. The Kings are not only in the playoffs, and they haven't just won 2 games already. They have a 2-0 series lead on the defending champs. Light the beam. Light the beam.
Check. You're not getting
beam. And sure, winning the first 2 at home, you might argue.
Test 1 2. Fred slow. Check.
So getting the job done is actually a big deal. Even the icon himself.
Nada, nothing. Check. Not getting me.
Series doesn't really begin until somebody wins on the road. That's effectively not really true. Not when you have the home court advantage. All Sacramento has to do is handle their business and they advance. And that's exactly what they did in the first 2 games, and no one should be surprised.
Ever wonder why your business doesn't show up on online search maps, but your competitors do? It's hundreds of things. Things that Cumulus Boost can identify and fix. And that's how we boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
All personal injury law firms are not the same. We all claim to do the same things, but that's where the similarities between Lerner & Rowe and all other law firms end. Lerner & Rowe was recently named the 2nd most influential law firm in the country, and we've collected billions of dollars for our injured clients, with over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. If you want real results, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Multi-state offices. Carlos Obri Espinosa is the
Managing Attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque. Glenn Lerner is only licensed in Nevada.
I have to ask you a serious question. Why would you pay more for the same furniture at one of the national furniture stores if you can pay less at New Mexico's own Home Life Furniture? Makes no sense to me. Freshen up for spring and save up to 40% at Home Life Furniture on select items and lock in 6 years financing with 0 interest on approved credit on most in-stock furniture. Plus, get fast and easy delivery too. Home Life Furniture at the Cottonwood Mall. It's all you need to make your house a home.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now betting for the Sports Animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome to 5 o'clock quitting time. If it's your time, welcome to spending that time with us. We're very appreciative. 505-246-0610. Reach out to the program, text line or hotline. Also, the Sports Animal live chat going on right now. We're enjoying that on our end. Tyler, heads up. I got a little bit of an echo. Van, the NBA is an interesting beast, okay? So the NBA regularly talks about the NBA. There's nothing the NBA loves more than the NBA. When you and I talk to Major League Baseball players, we'll talk about their fantasy football leagues. When you and I talk to NFL players, we'll talk about rock and roll music. When you and I talk to NBA guys, we only talk about the NBA.
Sure.
They care about nothing else. Okay, Van. The Athletic is at it again. The Athletic sat down with over 100 NBA players, and they asked some obvious questions. Who's MVP? Who's the best defender?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want to start a franchise with?
Mm-hmm.
All these things. They also asked not just who the most underrated player is, but who is the most overrated player. Van, who do you believe the NBA believes is the most overrated player?
I would have said Ja Morant. He's electric. He can dunk. He's fun to watch, but he don't do a lot besides that. I thought they would have said Ja Morant.
He may have made the list because of the 100 players polled, 32% of them said a bunch of different people.
Mm-hmm.
Of guys receiving more than one vote, okay?
Okay.
Trae Young was pegged by 15% of the league as the most overrated dude in the association.
There were so many different answers, but Trae Young's name came up the most.
Of repeat offenders, also rounding out the list, Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam, Jimmy Butler. What? Rudy Gobert.
Dumb.
Jaren
I agree with that one.
RJ Barrett, Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Austin Reeves. I would have thought it was Rudy Gobert running away with it. I don't think Rudy Gobert has any talent, only has size. I don't think Rudy Gobert can go.
The problem is
I've seen Rudy Gobert play.
If Rudy Gobert has like grabbed a rebound over you aggressively or like blocked your shot into the stands,
you don't feel that
you
way.
can't vote. You can't vote for him. But everyone else who didn't vote for Trae Young voted for Rudy Gobert. I think my Ja Morant vote is kind of validated because you rattled off all the multiple vote getters. There's a long list of people who got one vote, but my favorite, somebody said the Grizzlies, the whole team. Every single player on the Grizzlies is overrated. They asked, what player is the most overrated in the league? One guy said, the Grizzlies. That is hilarious. And it helps my first round Lakers upset prediction too.
Is it because obviously we're not in NBA locker rooms, not in NBA practices, but at least I'm very aware. I guess you've not really found this, but I've been around it collegiately, where I watch teams game plan for guys. I know what it looks like. I know what video looks like. I know what scouting reports look
Right.
like. I know what this energy is. And for you, Tyler, a scouting report is when you put work in ahead of time. That's a thing you're not super familiar with. That's a new one to you, Tyler. Take your time on that.
We just got a
So,
nod. We just got
whenever-
a slow
Yeah, just got a
nod,
nod
on the other side of the glass.
Tyler says, forget the microphone. It's just radio. So these teams know who they are preparing for and who they're not preparing for. And if they're turning on the TV and the TV is telling them that Trae Young's the dude, but they're going through basketball activity, basketball practice, basketball preparation, and they're not preparing like Trae Young is a dude, they know that Trae Young is not a dude.
Right.
How's Draymond Green not on this list? How is Westbrook not on this list?
Draymond was
Like,
on
there's
this.
a handful-
Draymond was on the list. He wasn't up on the list. You know, if you weren't listening,
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. How is he not higher?
I think he
Every
is.
time he touches the ball,
You're talking offense. He doesn't need to play offense.
of course.
He has no need to play offense on that team whatsoever. But everything else he does on the court, facilitate, use space, play defense, rebound, all of those things are a top shelf basketball player. Also getting into people's head, pissing them off, assaulting them with his feet. Those are also good qualities of a well-rounded basketball player.
Of approximately 100 votes cast, who's the most underrated player? Drew Holiday at the top. I think he is a full-fledged, one of the best, I mean, easily 30 guys in the league, but probably one of the best 20 guys in the league. But interesting to me on this, and I'm going to fill out the list for you real quick. Gallegos, Alexander, Bridges, Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson's a stud.
Bridges is a
Jaden
dude.
McDaniels, Derek. Yeah, Jalen Brown, underrated, probably true. Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, Jackson Jr. I don't think Dame should be on this list. Chris Middleton. But wrapping this one up, Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves was also on the overrated list.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves got the double appearance, overrated and underrated.
Reeves-
Like, my dude is
Reeves and Jackson Jr. were on both lists. I was like, this is fantastic.
who are we talking to here? And you know it like varies from like Eastern Conference to Western Conference as well. Like you know, obviously. Here's a fun one. Who is the greatest player of all time as 100 players are polled by The Athletic? Almost 60% say Michael Jordan. A third of them say LeBron. Less than that, around 7% say Kobe. And then somehow placing votes, Bill Russell, which I don't think really anyone has him in the conversation.
Rings.
Like he did win a lot, but there were only like 5 teams at the time.
If you're having
Somebody else has traced.
if you're having the rings conversation about Michael Jordan over LeBron, you say the word rings out loud, then you got to put respect on Bill Russell's name because no one has more.
Yeah. Also, there were no other teams.
Also, rounding
Tracy
out the
McGrady got a
5
vote.
hole is the best one. T-Mac, baby. Somebody voted
What?
T-Mac as the GOAT. Tracy MF McGrady? Are you serious? I love this list.
Is Vince Carter still in the league? Is he casting votes that I don't know about? Like, what is putting T-Mac over with today's basketball athlete?
So, okay, here's another question that you should poll. Across all sports, if they never got injured, who would be the best? You could put T-Mac in that argument.
Cooper Manning.
Yeah, okay, that's the Manning family's answer.
That's the one. That's the one.
Bo Jackson.
Sterling Sharp. That's the Sharp family. It's always the brother of a superstar.
Right.
That's always the answer to that one.
Tracy McGrady might be my number one answer. When he was healthy, he was unstoppable.
Yeah, he had like 2 years there. You know, I think the guy is probably Penny Hardaway.
McGrady over Penny,
Probably
and I
Penny
loved
Hardaway.
Penny.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't ready to dive down this one, but Greg Oden would be on the list. You know, there's a handful of guys in the NBA that you would have that conversation about. Who in the league would you least like to fight, Van? The number 2 answer is my number 1 answer. I would not want to fight Steven Adams. Steven Adams places second on this list at 27%. Number 1, are you ready? Dudes that that other NBA players don't want to fight. You got a guess before I give it to you?
Oh, I'm just going blank. What's the giant guy? Who's the giant?
From James Johnson.
Oh, really?
James Johnson is 6'8". I mean, that's pretty big. That's not the biggest one. Plays for the Pacers right now, but he was in Dallas. He was in Brooklyn. This is not going to sound that unique because it's the NBA, but he's got like tattoo from collarbone to bottom of the jaw. You know, he's got like that type of look that you don't necessarily want to fight. Also, he's from the mean streets of Cheyenne.
Oh, that's weird. He like
It's super weird.
Like wrestles horses.
Yeah, goes super hard. But he leads this thing at 41%. So the question is, Van, what does the NBA know about James Johnson that no one else is talking about? Like, what is he doing in the streets that no one is seeing?
I wouldn't even have conjured up his name as one of my answers. I would have had 10 names before him. Probably his fault that he plays on Indiana.
Steven Adams is 6'11". And he looks hard.
He got that Cro-Magnon forehead. Like he's like,
oh, he's terrifying.
You ain't got all these genes, Steve, but you got enough.
He looks like the guy that gets beat up by the hero before the hero has to go beat up the boss in a movie. Like he looks like the last bodyguard at the door. He looks like the guy that watches the vampire's coffin during the day. He has that build.
I haven't seen it yet. Was he in the new John Wick 4?
I assume.
Yeah. He's the guy protecting the boss.
Probably. In pro wrestling, he's called a heavy. He's like China. Like no one wants to fight him. He's terrifying. Not China the country, China the pro wrestler. Like the dude is astonishingly terrifying.
Oh,
go ahead.
I love the GOAT debate because I mean this has been going on since LeBron James entered the league and started playing well. This is the first one where LeBron James is nipping at Michael Jordan's heels. This is a couple career events away from overtaking Michael Jordan in the eyes of NBA player, current in the league NBA player.
Really, since Kobe retiring, we're only at a point where guys have played with LeBron now. Like there are no dudes who played with both.
Yeah.
And like you'll hear a lot of conversations from dudes who only played with Michael. And then you would hear some cool conversations from dudes who played with both, including Kobe. And now you're at a point where you'll no longer hear conversations from dudes who played with Michael. And I think that is going to really change that narrative forever.
Also, they did this exact same poll 4 years ago.
Correct.
Jordan was 73%. LeBron was 11%.
There's a lot more fun.
This time it was
There's
Jordan.
A lot more fun snippets, man.
There's Jordan was 58%.
Let's continue whenever we get back from the break.
And then LeBron was.
We keep going over each other, but let me get it here. So whenever we get back from the break, we'll continue down this list a little bit because this one's fun. Also, NBA players picked which fans were the worst, and that one I like to laugh about. We'll tell you more whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union.
You deserve better. Better banking, better savings, better loans, better service. That's Sandia Area. Sandia.org today.
And traffic right now dealing with the crash.
Fred, can you hear me?
Street as you approach El Pueblo. We're seeing quite a bit of backups with that, so be careful if you're headed in that area. Elsewhere around town right now, westbound on I-40, slowdowns as you approach the interchange. They're going to last until Coors. Southbound on I-25, Osuna to Comanche, we got some congestion there. Northbound I-25 between Gibson and Central, things moving slow there. And seeing quite a bit of slowdowns westbound on Paseo as you approach Jefferson. Those will last until the river. You're invited to the Great Futures Gala Saturday, April 29th at Albuquerque Museum, supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of Central New Mexico. They enable all young people to reach their full potential. Club alumni can attend free. RSVP at bgccnm.org. This report sponsored by JPR Incorporated, proud supporter of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central New Mexico. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Terrence Mathis, former Lobo, and now he's going to the College Football Hall of Fame.
18-year-old teenager comes cross country, and then they help you grow into the man that you are today. And I will always, not only Lobo football and the University of New Mexico, but the city and its fans and its people and its culture and its food will be part of my story as long as I live.
Start your morning weekdays at 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
You want it right today. Get it done the Daniels way. Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Go green with Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat with a high-efficiency AC or heat pump system from Daniels. Right now, Daniels is offering instant rebates on high-efficiency heat pump systems and take advantage of federal tax credits. Your investment is protected with their 10-year parts and 5-year labor guarantee. Daniels financing with plans to fit any budget, including 0% interest. Start your project today with a free estimate, 898-8860. Stay cool, calm, collected with Daniels, and go green today.
Arguing about Grage and Royal Taupe is a royal pain. I got my cabinets painted by CertaPro painters, and they look like brand new, and it saved the argument with my wife. They clean up the mess, and now my kitchen looks brand new again. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts provides more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Blake's Lottaburger has been a New Mexico favorite since 1952. They use the best ingredients like their very own Hatch green chili and fresh premium beef patties. And they cook your food fresh when you order it. Blake's Lottaburger. The first there was, the best there is.
There's only one Rogue, and there's only one home for Rogue.
But I can't control what some of these people say.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
On the program. Welcome to 2 Men On. Van, do me a favor, talking to your mic. It'll kill this echo for me.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hey, buddy.
So much better.
Oh, good.
John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Studios being held down by Van Lemley back in Albuquerque. I'm currently in beautiful and historic Las Vegas, New Mexico. Got a big event going on tomorrow here at the university. Van Locker 505 is coming up. We're doing a little clothing drive with all of our student athletes. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
All right.
Got a big gala coming up in 2 weeks, so that's gonna be a fun thing for them to experience and be a part of. Big thank you to the YMCA of Central New Mexico, where we start each and every single day of our week. Big thank you to 66 Diner, who helps make this program go around, because we're fueled on their cheeseburgers and milkshakes. Let's be real realistic about that. New Mexico's vodka is Teller Vodka. Don't forget, tomorrow, Van and I are live at ABQ Axe. It's a throw-in Thursday on a Wednesday. We'll be out at ABQ Axe tomorrow night, having a lot of fun with that. Then Thursday, we're at Marble Brew House on the west side. It's what did you say it was, Van? Night Whisper?
Yeah. The corner of
Night Whisper and
Unser
Unser.
and
Come
Night
see your boys come see your boys out at Marble Brewery on the west side, where we'll be having a lot of fun. We're on till 7 Thursday night, and then we're going to laugh a lot there. And don't lastly forget that Van is getting strong and Evolve strong. Also, we have a big announcement coming up at Howie's Sports page for our Kentucky Derby party. So there's going to be a lot of fun going on in our world. Thank you for everyone who is regularly a part of it. And also new friends of the show. Like John Traub earlier was like, hey, if you haven't been to a game, come to one game. We promise you'll come to a bunch. Exact same with the friends of the show. Like the people we have that regularly join us, love it. The new ones that can come and join us, come and join us. 505-246-0610. We just laugh a lot. Like it's not a complicated approach to life. All right, Van, from this athletic survey of at or near 100 players, it's a little bit above or below on all these questions, whatever.
Okay.
So we were talking about the best of all time. We were talking about the Michael Jordan LeBron conversation, and you and I were tripping over each other a little bit at the end of the segment. You were saying you thought Tracy McGrady, it was either a rib or it's an actuality that he's the greatest basketball player of all time.
No, I mean, I was a Rockets fan. So I got to see him when he was healthy. He was absolutely unstoppable on both ends of the court. Here's the problem. Never friggin' healthy. So somebody else out of these 108 people, I'm assuming one guy
from Houston,
one dude was like, oh,
from
man.
Orlando.
Yeah, actually, or Toronto, maybe. Actually, if he would have been healthy, he would be the GOAT. Michael Jordan didn't stand a chance if Tracy McGrady would have been healthy for 20 years or whatever.
Hey, Tracy McGrady's problem was he played at the same time Michael played, and then he played at the same time LeBron played. Tracy McGrady never could have been the greatest because those two dudes were currently playing when he was playing. Like, that's also, he wasn't even the greatest in his family. Like, isn't he Vince Carter's cousin? Vince Carter's better than Tracy McGrady.
Oh, God, no. Healthy Tracy McGrady is an absolute monster. He is unstoppable.
What arena has the worst fans, Van? I would not have got this one in 100 years as players voted. And then I thought about it after the vote, and I said, this one actually tracks. So, according to The Athletic, in descending order, the Heat's arena, I'm not going to say the names. No one cares. They're going to say the Heat, the Hawks, the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Knicks, the Clippers, the Spurs, the Magic, the 76ers, the Rockets, the Celtics. Okay, all that tracks. Those are all pretty competitive teams. They're all kind of in the mix. Here's your top four. Okay, Van?
Top four is in bottom four.
Top four is in bottom four.
Okay.
The Jazz, yep.
Tracks.
I would have got that one. I would have said the Jazz right out of the gate.
You know what the Jazz let Karl Malone do? They just let him run free on a bunch of teenagers out there. You're the worst.
The world shut down to COVID, and Jazz fans booed. They said, boo, we don't want to be safe from COVID. That's Jazz fan. Moving down or up the list, depending how you're looking at it, the Wizards I would not have got.
Interesting.
I don't think anyone in DC is from DC, first of all. So I don't understand why there'd be any sort of passion in that area. Or maybe that's how everyone bonds. Whatever. The top two, I would have had them flipped. I would have thought Detroit would have been the worst because historically, going back to your favorite teams of the 80s, the fan base has always been ruckus.
Mm-hmm.
But the number one is voted by about 100 NBA players. Charlotte.
Huh. I would have guessed Detroit and Philly were 1A and 1B. Charlotte, I don't get because they've been so sad and pathetic their whole existence. Is that why? The second
it had the lowest. Go ahead, Van.
The second Alonzo Mourning and Muggsy Bogues left, like did they just turn into AHs? They all turn into a bunch of Astro Houstons immediately?
Or maybe the Atlantic only interviewed Charlotte Hornets players. And they were like, we hate our fans. They were doing this move. They were like, because I think they had the lowest attendance in the league. That might not be right, but I think that's true. So whenever you have teams that have traditionally really low attendance, it's the more expensive seats that don't get sold. The cheap ones still go. So those fans then all flutter down.
Uh-huh.
So maybe what NBA players accustomed to experiencing, like on the court, near the court, they're not there. They don't have that normal expectation. They have rowdy, weirdo, and often we're talking about the Carolinas, racist fans.
Sure.
Like, yeah, whenever I read this, I said, "Oh, this tracks. This super tracks."
You're not Spike Lee. You're a guy with a mullet and a lead pipe. How did you get a lead pipe?
Why do you love all these why do you love all these state monuments and your flag so much? This is weird. You're super weird.
I thought you had a Pistons red, white, and blue on. That was just a Confederate.
No.
That's a Confederate flag jacket.
We don't give out no participation trophies here. 4 years of your history is about participating in a war that you lost. Yes, you absolutely give out participation trophies, Carolinas. I don't care what law you just passed saying you're not giving out participation trophies anymore. You absolutely are until you take down all of your state monuments. Losers.
And I think you kind of just assume that South Carolina's the bad one. Just
Right.
because one of them is North and the Union was North. No.
They're both bad.
Equally as bad. Also, Coastal Carolina, I heard, is beautiful. Lovely golf courses. I'd like to go
Uh,
visit.
It's got a cool college. It's a weird transplant city, though. I have a friend who teaches out there. No one at Coastal Carolina from the Carolinas. It's all like East Coasters, and it's like a get away from home, affordable. They give in-state tuition to New York kind of thing. So it's got a little fluency that you wouldn't naturally expect down there.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, kind of fun. Players want to play for Coach Greg Popovich. That's no surprise to you or I. We will jump through that one very quickly. Also, players don't want to play for Tom Thibodeau. And that has kind of been like the narrative around the league for some time. How can you be hated by so many dudes who've never met you? I recognize that you can be praised like in the Greg Popovich way, but for so many players to actively be like, hey, this dude sucks that you've never met, like that one sucks. Also, everyone believes the Bucks will win the NBA championship this year. Kind of a fun list, kind of a fun little thing, but there you go. Trae Young sucks. Tracy McGrady's way better than we ever thought, and I don't necessarily care about all the stuff about like who's the best referee or whatever. But there you go, man. There's your breakdown of The Athletic, asking NBA players the insight. They wanted the spilled tea. They got it.
You know, I love this because this isn't just us sitting around arguing. It's just not us arguing with a friend of the show on the Sports Animal Hotline. This is the players.
Correct. Like, I'm into it. I'm super about it. Whenever we get back, Major League Baseball might have a labor problem, Van, and it's not on the field. I'll tell you more after this. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Things moving slow right now westbound on I-40. You're going to run into congestion as you approach Carlisle, and that's going to last until Coors. You're going to want to watch yourself going through there. Be patient and take your time. Southbound I-25, Vicinity to Montgomery, things moving slow there. Also seeing slowdowns on Paseo headed west at Jefferson. They're going to last until the river. And northbound on I-25 right now between Cesar Chavez and Lomas, dealing with some congestion in that area.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union.
Turn your home's value into cash you can use for, well, anything. Pay off debts or improve your home. Apply at sandia.org today. An equal housing lender.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
BetQL model is targeting this NL Ace. I'm Kate Constable, here to help you beat the books with BetQL. Cardinals starter Jordan Montgomery is off to a strong start in 2023. He's 2-1 with a 2.45 ERA, and the Cardinals host the surprise D-backs tonight. BetQL is backing Montgomery. They have St. Louis minus 170 on the money line as a 5-star best bet. BetQL projects this number significantly higher. I'm Kate Constable. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. I knew we could not put off getting life insurance. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050 or go to SelectQuote.com now. That's 1-800-452-5050. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
With every other attorney in town talking about winning and how much they've won, it's time we look at the facts and set the record straight. Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 people collect billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion recovered in the last 5 years alone. We have over 50 attorneys and over 400 legal professionals and their resources to fight for you. The reality is, there's Lerner and Rowe, then there's everybody else.
Lerner Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Multi-state offices. Carlos Obri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque. Glenn Lerner is only licensed in Nevada.
Okay, it's the second best way to wake up. It's the opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Back on the program. Talking a little Major League Baseball. All right, Van, did you see this story about the Pirates?
Oh, I didn't. I love news stories. Tell me.
Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. So the support staff at the ballpark, right? So PNC Park, which if you haven't been, it's a cool park. It's pretty. It's kind of all the things you look for in a baseball park.
I heard it's one of the nicest.
It's one of the nicest. And they all have what? They have support staff, right? They have ushers and ticket takers and concession stands and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So The Pittsburgh Stadium Independent Employees Union, or the PSIEU, announced that on Thursday, the next home game for the Pirates against the Cincinnati Reds, that they will be picketing van outside of the venue, will not be working their jobs. And then that PNC Park, if it is to host baseball on this Thursday, will have to have individuals cross the picket line, including unionized Major League Baseball players, to get into the building and play or put on the event that is Major League Baseball. And I'm very pro-union, Van. And this offer from the Pirates to their union support staff was rejected earlier this week. I tell you what, dude, I might have a weird energy if Major League Baseball walks across the picket line.
Because they are unionized, you think they would support another union that supports them?
You would wonder, because the MLBPA, which, and I'm not talking umpires, I'm not talking Major League Baseball staff, I'm talking players.
Because, I mean, usually inside the ballpark, the concession stands are privately owned. They contract with the ballpark, but the actual employees are the ones who get the stadium ready, clean up the stadium, take tickets, help you do your seats. Like, those are the actual employees.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like all of the actual employees at PNC are going to go on strike. And, you know, I hope not only are the players, the unionized players, going to get their back, I hope all the concessions people and the people who,
it's all the same union,
who run the parking, and who everyone comes together for this and supports those who are on strike.
Well, and taking it down the list a little bit, let's go back to 94, 95. Is that right? 94, 95. So during the 94, 95 season, that was the conversation, right? Because Major League Baseball players were on strike. And then it was, hey, because at the time, minor league players were different than major league players. So you weren't in the MLBPA until you're a Major League Baseball player. That's different now. It's just laid out different. So at the time, there was all these conversations that Major League Baseball was going to bring up minor leaguers to play. And the conversation was, do minor leaguers cross the picket line of Major League Baseball players? And then if they do, does the support staff cross that picket line to watch or to assist in games with minor leaguers? And at least my understanding of unions in the 90s, there's no way that anyone would have crossed any of those lines.
Yeah, or hear me out, you sabotage the whole thing.
You do that. Oh, I love that. We're on the same page.
Yeah. Just hand out tickets to anybody. Let anybody in the stadium. Don't screen them at security. Just let a mad horde of Pittsburghians, or whatever you're called, just go right into the park. Free will it. Everyone gets a home plate seat. Just show up first. You get to go in. That's what I would do.
Well,
I would go on Facebook or Instagram or Reddit or something and we say, hey, I'm an usher. I'm an unnamed usher. I'm an unnamed ticket taker. I'm an unnamed booth worker at PNC Park. Tell you and all your friends, just show up on Thursday because you're getting right in, baby. Let's go.
But here's also what I'm saying. I'm saying bring your cell phones with cameras, because no one has put toilet paper in the bathroom.
Yep.
Because no one, and I could run the list, but there's no point. It would just end up being a funny list of things I'm running. No one cut the grass in center field.
Sure.
Like, that is what the list would end up being, because it's not just game day guys. There's guys that make the stadium go around all year long. So it's, what are these guys getting? Are they getting the support they deserve? Are they getting the pay wages? Are they getting all the, and again, cannot say this enough. If you're listening to the show, if you're a friend of the show, I am always pro-labor. I don't care what the industry is. I am pro-labor every time. Pay these people the exact amount that they claim they want. And if you're going to give me some sort of bogus, we were working in good faith and we made, we gave them a proposal and their union leadership said, you want to know how much I care about union leadership? I don't. Union leadership is a plan.
Sure.
Union leadership is always a paid off Ponzi that I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about entry-level guy.
Sure.
That's the guy who needs support. And what better support can you get than Major League Baseball players, the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates both saying, we're not playing here with your scabs, yo. Like, if you're bringing in scabs,
yeah,
we're not your guys. And I don't know if it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen. But the amount of praise and the number of Pittsburgh Pirate hats that I would buy would blow your mind after that, because I'd become the biggest fan.
All right. I'm going to do my part, Fred. I'm not going to watch single Pittsburgh Pirates game all season. And you know what else, Fred? I saw this coming. I didn't watch a single Pittsburgh Pirates game all last year either. I'm in support of you, PNC Park worker. I've done my job, and I will continue to. The blackout continues.
That's awful. Josh Sushan joins us when we get back. We preview the game tonight. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Things moving slow right now westbound on I-40. You're going to run into congestion as you approach Carlisle, and that's going to last until Coors. You're going to want to watch yourself going through there. Be patient and take your time. Southbound I-25, Vicinity to Montgomery. Things moving slow there. Also seeing slowdowns on Paseo headed west. Those start at Jefferson. They're going to last until the river. And northbound on I-25 right now between Cesar Chavez and Lomas, dealing with some congestion in that area.
This report is brought to you by Blake's Lotta Burger.
Blake's Lotta Burger has been a New Mexico favorite since 1952. They use the best ingredients like their very own Hatch green chili and fresh premium beef patties. And they cook your food fresh when you order it. Blake's Lotta Burger, the first there was, the best there is.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Maggie Gray with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck Boxes. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Damar Hamlin, the Bills safety who nearly died after he went into cardiac arrest, has not only been cleared by 3 different doctors and specialists to resume football activities, but he's back in Buffalo participating in the Bills' voluntary off-season workouts. Just another positive milestone in Hamlin's incredible story. I'm Maggie Gray.
Last year, you gave us books, and we gave you beer. You remember, you were younger and more handsome. The Sports Animal is doing it again with JPR Decorative Gravel and Blake's Lotta Burger for the Rock and Brew Book Drive. Bring new or gently used children's books to participating breweries, and you'll receive $1 off each beer you buy that day. Breweries like Sidetrack Brewing, Quarter Celtic, Cactus Brewery, and more. Save $1 off a beer while fighting illiteracy in New Mexico. Get a full list of drop-off locations online now at sportsanimalabq.com.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hurry and shop the final days of SpringFest at Lowe's. Right now, get an additional $300 off when you spend $1,996 or more on select major kitchen appliances. And keep your lawn looking fresh with savings on the Ego 15-inch string trimmer. It was $219, now it's $199. Shop SpringFest today, because Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Indigo Mortgage is proud to have served veterans with honesty and integrity for the last 20 years. And in these last 20 years, veterans have trusted Indigo Mortgage for purchases or refinances utilizing their VA home loan benefits. Indigo Mortgage is known in the veteran community to offer some of the lowest rates and fees in New Mexico. Veterans refer veterans, and we take that very serious. as they are trusting us to make sure their fellow vets get the best rates and fees on the market. Veterans know they can trust Indigo Mortgage, and we set ourselves apart from the big national lenders who are interested in profits rather than serving our veterans. And if you're a veteran looking for any kind of home loan, make sure to shop your mortgage around and be sure to shop your trusted local mortgage company, Indigo Mortgage, serving veterans for the last 20 years. Reach us on the net at indigomortgage.net or by calling 836-5700. That's 836-5700. NMLS 231962 and 188-348.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
The all-new Nissan Ariya is a fully loaded EV. It's brimming with style and power.
Up to 389 horses of it.
Innovation and intelligence.
E-Force all-wheel drive.
It'll pin you to your seat.
Your very plush seat.
The all-new, all-electric Nissan Ariya. Nissan Ariya with E-Force expected availability early 2023. E-Force cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. E-Force and 389 horsepower available on Platinum Plus. Nissan calculation using 1-foot rollout testing with long-range battery and E-Force only in 4 with E-Step off. These results are for comparison only and should not be attempted on public roads. Drive responsibly. See nissanusa.com for details.
Are you amped?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, bro. The Jim Rome Show is up next at 10
on 95.9 FM
and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
The Isotopes welcome the Oklahoma City Dodgers with the first of the 6-game series tonight at the Lab. Starting that sentence off is an exclamation point, which is Jackie Robinson night. Joining us is Josh Sushan. Josh, welcome to the program.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on. This is one of my favorite nights of the year. It's always a special night, and love talking about Jackie Robinson and honoring and just learning about history of him and things like that.
We left off our conversation with John Traub talking about the growth of Jackie Robinson night over the last 20 years in Major League Baseball. Famously, number 42 was retired during the 1997 season. Players already wearing it, allowed to wear it throughout the playing days of their career. Talk, Josh, a little bit about the time you've been around Major League Baseball, about the growth of Jackie Robinson Day and why it's been so significant, not just on Jackie Robinson Day and in the ballparks, but the culture surrounding the game as a whole.
Yeah, you know, I spent 4 years in Los Angeles doing the Dodgers pregame and postgame, and that's when it really hit home to me about just how important it is and how much it matters. And I remember just thinking, like, every year I always wanted to do something different. I wanted to add a different wrinkle to it and learn something new about Jackie Robinson. And when you're with the Dodgers, it's so neat because Don Newcomb's there, you know. Don Newcomb was teammates with him. And he's just hanging out at the ballpark every day, dressed to the nines, just the most, you know, just best-dressed man of all time. But anyways, to see that the way that it's grown is really neat because, like you said, number 42 was retired, and then I'm pretty sure that it was Ken Griffey Jr. who called Bud Selig and said, "Hey, can I wear the number 42 on Jackie Robinson Day?" And so Bud called Jackie's wife to ask her, like, what does she think? And then that's what led to everybody on the Dodgers is going to wear number 42. And then I think it was just the Dodgers for a year or two who did that. And then it was every team is going to do that. And now you're seeing more and more minor league teams that are doing that as well, including us here in Albuquerque. And so I just think it's really special that he gets honored in the way that he gets honored every year.
Engaging the youth this year in Jackie Robinson's legacy, how important is it to keep Jackie's legacy alive, not only for the history of baseball, but the history of this country?
Yeah, it's super important, and that's why we did the education initiative. We had way over 100 different kids who contributed an essay or a poem or artwork, and a lot of them moved me to tears. There was one in particular I was reading, and then I get to the last paragraph, and I just went, oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. I need a moment. Does someone have a tissue? This is just really beautiful. You know, I love learning about what Jackie did, not just before he played Major League Baseball, but what he did afterward. You know, and another thing that's interesting is, like, just how improbable it was that Jackie Robinson was actually good at baseball. I mean, he played baseball for 1 year at UCLA, and official statistics back then were not kept the way that they're kept right now, but his official batting average for UCLA was under 100. I think it was like 091 for his 1 year. He stopped playing midway through the season and joined the track and field team. And then he did not play baseball for 5 years until he played his one and only year in the Negro Leagues. So you think about how rusty he must have been having not played baseball for 5 years. He wanted to play in the Army, but they didn't allow him to play because of the color of his skin. And the fact that he was that good in his 1 year in the Negro Leagues that the Dodgers decided he's the guy that we're going to pick. You know, like he wasn't the best guy in the Negro Leagues, but he was the right guy. So the fact that he was that good in his 1 year in the Negro Leagues, and he was that good in his 1 year in the minor leagues, and then he won Rookie of the Year in his first year in the majors and was a 6-time All-Star in his 10 years. Think about what would have happened if he was not good, if he had not been like able to get it done on the field. And again, he wasn't the best player that was in the Negro Leagues, but he was the right one. And I just find it fascinating just how improbable it was that a guy who barely played at UCLA and wasn't very good 5 years later picks up the sport again, and he's awesome.
This Jackie Robinson batting average information you just gave me from UCLA, this little tidbit, that's the kind of stuff I feel like I regularly learn every day about Jackie Robinson. I'm 38 years old. I've been a fan of the game forever. I learned about Jackie Robinson, you know, in my childhood. John Traub said something interesting earlier as we were talking, Josh. He said he has a concern that the youth today, and I don't mean that sarcastically, I mean kids as they come up, won't have the exposure and the growth path that maybe we had with Jackie Robinson. Obviously, you created a lot of interest at the ballpark surrounding Jackie Robinson. You created a lot of different medias to communicate that. What do you think Major League Baseball needs to do, Jay, to make sure that Jackie Robinson's legacy is lived on amongst young fans and new fans to the game?
You know what, honestly, the number one thing is we need to get more blacks playing Major League Baseball, period.
Yeah.
We need more African Americans playing Little League Baseball. We need more African Americans working in baseball as play-by-play announcers or groundskeepers or public relations officials or doing marketing. The Major League Baseball has lost an entire race. Like when I go through my baseball card collection from the 80s, it's unbelievable what it looks like then compared to what it looks like now. You know, I mean, the number of people who I've talked to over the years that said they became fans of the Dodgers because of Jackie Robinson. I don't know if you guys remember Pat Listash. He played a long time in the major leagues. He was in the PCL, and he was in Louisiana, and he said, yeah, my family became fans of the Dodgers because of Jackie Robinson, and they remain fans of the Dodgers to this day. And honestly, I think that's what Major League Baseball needs to do, is find a way to reach out to the black community and get them playing the sport, watching the sport, working in the sport, not just on the field.
Josh, do you think the new rule changes will have any impact on urban kids being more involved in the game?
I think so. I hope so. I mean, we're getting to a brand of baseball that's what it looked like in the 80s when I was a kid, and that is athleticism is at a premium. You can't just put somebody at second base or third base who's just an okay fielder because you have this massive shift. You have to be able to cover a lot of ground on the infield now. You got to cover a lot of ground on the outfield now. Like speed is at a premium to be able to take an extra base. So I hope so. I think so. Time will tell. You know, I know that Major League Baseball's trying really hard. There's a lot of people that have been involved in this, and, you know, we'll see. But it hasn't happened overnight, but I hope they just keep working at it.
I mean, and like from a marketing standpoint, how do you think that you could penetrate the African-American community better? Because there's only so many Tim Andersons, right? There's only so many ambassadors that can reach out, and there's only so much time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know the answers, right? I'm not some marketing genius. You know, I'm the play-by-play announcer. But I do know that I look at what the Isotopes and minor league baseball teams did with the Mariachis and how many other minor league teams do a similar type of promotion. And you look at the way that we have galvanized this market, which is heavily Hispanic, to take pride in their community, to take pride in the Mariachis in this ballpark, and how many fans that's led to coming to the ballpark here. And I think similar things need to be done throughout the country, especially in the communities that are heavily African American.
You know, the RBI program, which I think came around in 90, that might not be correct, but that's close to correct. A big part of that was they had donations from Major League Baseball to inner city communities to something like a tune of like $50,000-ish in the 90s. So whatever that translates to do now, to provide equipment, provide resources. And whenever I ran a Boys and Girls Club in St. Louis, Missouri, Rawlings was our biggest sponsor. And Rawlings would give us equipment regularly and give us all these different resources. I almost think there's something to that, boys, to where if you can find an organization that's excited about parenting the effort, then I think you can find those resources you need, often for a community that lacks recreational resources. So I would say that's probably step number one.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there's no reason why all Major League Baseball teams should not be doing this type of thing. Like, I'll give you a smaller example. In the town that I grew up, there was this guy named Vic Malatesta. He owned this restaurant called Vic's Cafe, and it seemed like he sponsored, half of my little league, right? Like, his name was just on everyone's jerseys, was all over the place. You'd go to the restaurant, and there was always these team photos of all these little league kids. And you know what? It was great for business because we all went in there like post game and we all wanted to like thank him. And so all these families went in there and always ate at his restaurant. And the amount of money that he poured into the community, it paid dividends. And so I think you're right in that you need more type of businesses that are just going to say, we're going to provide equipment. We're going to provide uniforms. We're going to provide, like, you have to play travel ball nowadays. It's ridiculous how expensive it is in order to play travel ball, which is what you have to do to have college teams give you a scholarship or a partial scholarship or to get discovered. That's so expensive. And so you need different, whether it's teams, whether it's business leaders, to be able to say, we're going to sponsor this team. Go play the entire summer and show how great you are.
Josh, we're up against it. What can friends of the show expect to find at a special night tonight at Isotopes Park?
Come to the concourse and look at all the beautiful artwork and essays that kids wrote, and just take your time and just see what the youth of Albuquerque did to learn about Jackie Robinson.
Who's on the pregame, Jay?
Our manager, Pedro Lopez. We talked about Jackie Robinson and Coco Montes and Randall Gritchick and more.
There we go. Josh Sushan, he takes over at 6:15 on these very airwaves. Thanks.
Thank you very much for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Josh. See you later.
Whenever we get back, we wrap up today's broadcast with these perhaps implemented NBA rule changes. It's 2 minutes on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
Malloy Chevrolet knows trucks. During Chevrolet truck season, we're out to prove we know trucks better than them big city dealers. Get your new truck from Truck People. Malloy Chevrolet in Los Lunas, MalloyChevrolet.com.
For traffic right now, still seeing a lot of congestion westbound on I-40 as you approach Carlisle, and that's going to last until 4. You're going to want to be really careful headed through there. Also still seeing some slowdowns southbound I-25 Osuna to Montgomery, and westbound Paseo, 2nd Street to the river. That continues to move slow as well. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Most people gamble. They visit a casino, buy a lottery ticket, play an online game. But for a few, gambling becomes more than fun. It becomes a problem, an addiction, just like a drug or alcohol addiction. Free and confidential help and treatment is available, funded by Responsible Gaming Association of New Mexico. A toll-free hotline, 888-696-2440, is available 24 hours a day. Find help at rganm.org.
Join Marble Brewery as they kick off their 15th anniversary celebration on April 16th. It'll be a week full of food pairings, brew club appreciation, a locally crafted beer dinner, events at each tap room, closing out the week with their all-day anniversary party on April 22nd. Join them at 111 Marble Avenue Northwest, April 22nd, and experience something new and enter a marvelously warped world. Breathtaking live performances, exclusive Marble specials, and a whimsical and unconventional take on the after party. For more information, visit marblebrewery.com.
KNML AM Albuquerque is the sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now betting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Wrapping up the program. NBA rule changes, Van. Did you see any of this stuff, like this proposed stuff?
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't delve too deep. And before we get started on this, can we say congratulations to potential Coach of the Year, Mike Brown of the Kings? With winning the first 2 games of the series, he is now the second winningest coach in Kings franchise history.
Oh, that's crazy to me.
2 wins. Now he's in second place in Kings franchise history. That's a low bar, but your boy crossed it.
Well, way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go. So Mark Cuban says get rid of the charge. What?
Okay, it's just going to turn basketball into the friggin' All-Star game.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way.
There's been so many rule changes throughout the last, 20 years that all helps offense. There's nothing that helps defense and nothing that helps support the defensive end of the court. And this is just this will be the last step to just having 210 versus 198.
Sorry about that, man.
210, 198 every night. They're just going to score and score and score and score. If you don't chunk up a three-pointer, you just go dunk uncontested every play. It's going to turn it into the All-Star game. It's stupid.
It is a little stupid because it's going to create it'll change offense substantially, which is fine, but it'll create everything's a steamroll now. You remember when Shaquille O'Neal was so very good for all that time? He's just bigger and no one could get in front of him and no one can stop him. So they started fouling him. And then eventually they they were like, hey, don't really do that. You're kind of ruining the game. It'll end up being the same thing like that. You can't allow the offense to just go unimpeded all the way to the basket. And, I wore a patch for a long time. I was an official. And the way it was explained to me I was in my younger years when I was doing this, the way it was explained to me was every player on the court, regardless of if they have the ball or not, has authority of that position on the court that they're currently in. So if you're a defensive guy, you can't just run into an offensive guy and knock him out of the way. If you're an offensive guy, you can't just run into a defensive guy and knock him out of the way. And I think that fundamentally cannot be changed because it'll alter the game too significantly from what I know is the game of basketball.
I mean, it's going to alter it greatly, more than any rule change since the three-pointer. You can't just have people just running around and dunking with no responsibility whatsoever to a charge. Only thing that's going to happen is, we complained about it. The first segment of the show is each team is not going to only have one, but they're going to need 2 or 3 Draymond Greens to give hard fouls to these guys who are just dunking all over everybody. Every single team in the NBA, you need 1 Steph Curry to hit threes. You need 1 Ja Morant to dunk on everybody. And then you need 3 Draymonds to foul the hell out of everybody who's trying to do that for the other team. It makes no sense whatsoever. Drastically alters the future of the NBA. I'm not for it. I think as much offense as there is right now, let's stop right here. Let's support this level of basketball. Let's keep this level of basketball clean and efficient and fun to watch. Because if there's any more offense, it's going to be boring.
Similar to the way that the All-Star game is boring. Yeah, I
Yes.
agree completely. Yeah, you're on point with that one. The other one that was kind of proposed is not necessarily a gameplay, but it is a end of the year, like an NBA honors kind of thing. So obviously the big conversation was load management, and here's what it is. So full terms of the NBA 65 game minimum to be eligible for honors such as MVP, All-NBA, and Defensive Player of the Year. Players must play 20 minutes in at least 65 games with protections against season-ending injury. Cool. And then near misses in minutes. So if you play 2 games at 15, like you're fine. Like the whole thing's going to work in good faith. I get it. I don't personally feel like a lot of guys are winning awards that aren't playing full seasons. So I don't know if it's a factor yet, but maybe the conversation internally is guys don't plan to play 65 games anymore.
And no one ends up doing it? It's like a giant league-wide sabotage? Is that what you're thinking?
Not sabotage, but manipulation.
Sure. I think all your MVP candidates, and I'd be wildly surprised if somebody played less than 65 games and still won the MVP. But this isn't just for making sure that you played a full season to get your awards, to get handed your flowers. This is all load management. This is to make sure that the little kid from outside Oklahoma City makes sure that he gets to see Shizzy Gargahoid Alejandro or whatever his name is, and he doesn't like go back to school the next week and all of his friends make fun of him because he didn't get to see his favorite player. I mean, I think that's what it helps ensure.
I think you're part of the chain there. I think you're correct because it's money coming in from the consumer, right? But then also, let's say you have a contract that says, hey, if I win this reward, or if I'm in the top of whatever voting, or if I'm the NBA All-Star or whatever it is, or I'm this team, first, second, or third, or whatever, then you get like a financial incentive because those kind of contracts exist. So then the NBA is ensuring that that money's coming in, and also gives them a little bit of control over if they're paying you out for that stuff. So I kind of think it works accountability-wise. Also, with the quote unquote sub rules, it keeps you from, like, if you're LeBron James, I'm just naming a name.
Right.
You can't just dress out, go into a game for a minute, and that be qualified as a game. You have to actually be a player in the game.
No, I agree. And it's to expound on what you just said. All of this language is going to enter contracts, not just for the ability to win awards and get bonuses, but it will take away from your salary. All that guaranteed money will start to go away if you don't hit your quota of 65 games at 20 minutes or whatever. And all that's going to be factored in, because like in baseball and football, you can give bonuses for snaps, for minutes, for games played. Baseball, like innings pitched, games started, et cetera, et cetera. You can't give bonuses for, hey, if you get under 3.5 ERA this year, you get an extra milli. That's in the Players Association, the bargaining agreement, that you can't do that. But you can do it for amount of time that you can play. And I think this is going to lead the way to NBA contracts looking more like baseball contracts, when the more you play, the more you get paid.
I got a list of guys who would have missed with these regulations. Are you ready?
Okay.
Luka played 66 games, but 2 of them would not have qualified because he didn't play the minimum minutes. Steph Curry, 56 games. Jimmy Butler, your father, 64. Giannis, 63. Halliburton, 56. KD, 47. Lillard, 58. AD, 56. LeBron, 55. Ja, 61. Kawhi, 52. And you get it from there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of the biggest names that wouldn't be in the mix. And you would end up with like a weird, like, I'll give you an example. Your first team would probably be SGA, Mitchell, Tatum, Sabonis, Embiid.
Yeah.
I guess. Brunson, Trey, Markkanen, Randall, Jokic on your second team. I mean, you would end up with like kind of some weird looking teams.
I mean, as it should, because these guys who are 3 or 4 games away from hitting that quota, they're going to make sure throughout the season, in the dog days of the season, that they are getting enough minutes, they're getting enough reps. They're not skipping those back-to-backs. They might only play 20 minutes, 21 minutes of those back-to-backs, but they're still playing enough to qualify for the game. And it helps the fans and it helps the league. And I hate to say it, but it's going to help the owners too, sign better contracts.
A little bit, it feels like a Kawhi Leonard rule.
Yeah.
Like there's a group of dudes, and I'm just using Kawhi because it's easy to pick on, that choose to not play the game.
Yeah.
Like, and I get load management, and I get, hey, also, who am I? I just watched Kawhi Leonard do that thing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's got gas in his tank that he's using at the right time. Cannot question him. Would not be NBA whatever team.
Zion
would not hit those incentives. Zion is he needs some help, dude.
You're not wrong.
Like I want someone to scoop Zion up, and I want him to be like, hey, we're going to take care of you forever, man, because you need it. So I can't hear the bleed music, but I know we're kind of near the end. Tyler, good job today working remote. Appreciate you a ton, brother. A little bit your first day with this, right? You did an excellent job.
Hey, thanks, guys. We had fun.
Hey.
Yeah, did good. Big thank you to Josh Sushan, who joined us from your Albuquerque Isotopes. He's celebrating Jackie Robinson tonight at the ballpark. Big thank you to John Traub, also of the Albuquerque Isotopes. As we could spend every segment today on Jackie Robinson, still would not be enough time on Jackie Robinson. So just get out tonight if you can get out tonight to the ballpark, take in the spectacle and the celebration that is Jackie Robinson. Tyler, you got anything going on tonight? Anything in your world? You going over to the ballpark?
I'm stand-up city at all times. Let's see, it's Wednesday night, so I'll probably be at Red Door downtown.
Okay.
There we go. Not so bad. Van, final words before we go today?
Too much for the time allotted, my friend, but anything we didn't cover, make sure you check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff, JJ, and A. Marie.
Good job, Tyler. Good job, Van. Good job, everyone. GG.
See you tomorrow, Burke.